Only 3% of Jewish Israelis think Trump's ethnic cleansing plan for Gaza is immoral. A poll by the Jewish People Policy Institute has found that more than 8 out of 10 Jewish Israelis support the plan proposed by President Donald Trump to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip of Palestinians by resettling them in Egypt and Jordan. The poll also found that among the minority of Israelis who did not support Trump's plan, only 13% opposed it because they viewed it as immoral. Among Jewish Israelis specifically, the number who oppose the ethnic cleansing of Gaza for moral reasons is just 3%. 3%. If that isn't a sign of a morally diseased society, I don't know what would be. To be clear, we are talking about permanently driving an indigenous population off their homeland at mass scale so that their territory can be claimed by settlers. This is the sort of crime that even a half-formed conscience would immediately recognize as deeply immoral, but among Jewish Israelis, that figure is just 3%. The moral degeneracy which makes such a large-scale lack of basic human empathy possible is the natural consequence of everything the State of Israel is and always has been. Jewish Israelis are indoctrinated from birth to view Palestinians as less than human, because otherwise modern Israel makes no sense. It makes no sense for an apartheid state where one group receives preferential treatment over others to have been dropped on top of a pre-existing civilization whose land, rights, and dignity were then violently stolen from them, if you view all the parties involved as equal. So they are trained not to view them as equal. This systematic poisoning of conscience has knock-on effects in all sorts of areas, though. A 2011 poll published by Haaretz found that 61% of Israeli men don't view forced sex with an acquaintance as rape, and that only 7% believe marital rape is a real thing. Rape is abundant in the Israeli military and is almost never punished. In 2022, the Jerusalem Post reported that 1,542 incidents of sexual assault complaints were received by the IDF in the year 2020, and that of these, only 31 indictments were filed. One need only listen to Israelis discuss concepts unique to their culture like shitat hamatzliah, which is just walking all over people and doing whatever you want to see if you get away with it, or the sin of being a frayer, someone who plays by the rules and misses opportunities to cheat others, to understand that this is a nation of sociopaths. And it has to be. If Israelis were a deeply moral people with well-formed consciences, there would be no Israel, because the abuses necessary to maintain its existence as a state would never be democratically supported by its people. Israel cannot exist without nonstop violence, tyranny, and injustice. So it is vital to the interests of the state that Israelis be the sort of people who would support these things. And in case anyone is confused, this immorality isn't actually about Jews or Judaism. Any group which is pervasively indoctrinated into believing a neighboring group must be treated abusively will be shaped into cruel and ignorant people. Anyone of conscience who's ever interacted with white South Africans above a certain age has likely had a taste of this. It's got nothing to do with anyone's religion or ethnicity. It's just how the abuses of apartheid are upheld. This is the depraved entity the entire Western world is being told it must support unconditionally. An apartheid state which twists its own people into monsters so that they will participate in monstrous deeds.